Alright guys, it's time for the playoffs of ELEAGUE Atlanta Major. I have 15 points right now. That means we got 5 correct. That would be SKVP North, Navi, and HR for the 0-3. We did pick Astralis, but we only picked that for the 3-0, which it didn't happen. They got 3-2'd, so that doesn't count unfortunately. So the first one we're gonna pick is Navi versus Astralis. We're gonna pick Astralis here. Right now, CSGL has it at 81% to 19%, but in my opinion, I'm pretty sure it's 55 for Navi, 45 for Astralis. I'm gonna give you some reasoning here. Many people think Navi is gonna take this. That's really reasonable because they have Simple and Guardian. They're actually expected to win the major. If you don't agree with me, it's totally fine. You can just pick Navi. Astralis is looking pretty strong, winning against G2. They destroyed them 16-5. They actually won against Liquid 16-3. That's super convincing win considering Liquid is a really strong team. They beat Mousesports 16-4 and Astralis destroyed Liquid 16-3, so that's super convincing right there. Navi, they have a 36 round difference, 3-0. They've lost 12 rounds so far in their 3 matches. That's pretty crazy. They might play D2 actually. Navi is pretty known for D2. They destroyed SK 6-3. Astralis, they actually lost on D2 to SK 7-19, so Navi is probably gonna win this one 80% of the time. Train, Astralis is really strong on this one. They destroyed G2 16-5. Navi is pretty good on Train, but I think I'll give Astralis the upper hand here, maybe 60% for Astralis here. Overpass, Navi is extremely gonna overpass. They're currently 10-0 right now, and Astralis I think it's 9-3. That's why Navi is pretty favored on overpass, but Astralis, I think they played Navi on overpass a few months ago, but Astralis shouldn't be underestimated on the overpass, so I think it's gonna go overtime on this one. Another possible pick would be Cobblestone. Navi is pretty good on Cobblestone, but Astralis might ruin that anyways. Astralis might pick Nuke because they've been practicing on it a bit. Navi, they haven't really been doing anything on Nuke lately, so they might pick it or they might ban it. Next one would be Fnatic versus Gambit. I'll go to that later. So it's gonna be an SK VP versus North. I think VP is gonna take this one pretty convincingly because North, they haven't really showed up lately. They had to fight HR in overtime, but they did beat G2 pretty convincingly 16-9, but they did lose against Fnatic 16-3, and they lost Gambit too 16-8. I would say that VP will pretty easily win against North on this one. The last one would be SK versus FaZe, and it's kind of surprising FaZe actually got into the playoffs. They've been pretty good. They destroyed F3 16-9, but they lost against VP on overtime. They were at 17. FaZe won overtime with Liquid 22-18, and they did beat Envy at round 5, which is 16-11. But I would still pick SK. They're a 2-time world champion, but they do have Fox as a stand-in because they kicked FNX, but it's still pretty convincing that SK can win because it's a ban pick ban format. I just think SK really has the map pool here. I really believe they can make it to the semifinals. So going back to Fnatic versus Gambit, I would say Gambit has the upper hand on this one, but I'm still gonna go with the underdog Fnatic here because if Olafmeister and Crims show up, they can really dominate Gambit. So that's why I choose Fnatic, and part of the reason is I can't afford Gambit sticker because it's 130 Canadian dollars and I don't have that. So if you think Gambit is gonna win, just pick Gambit. I'm gonna go with Fnatic here. I think we're gonna pick the entire major just in this video. So since I picked Astralis wins against Navi, Astralis should win against Fnatic because Gambit. Because if they can beat Navi, they can obviously beat whoever wins the Fnatic or Gambit match. Now we have the other bracket, VP versus SK. This is going to be a pretty convincing match here for SK because they did beat VP last major, Cologne, 2-1. So I'm pretty sure SK has beat VP here, but anything can happen, but I'm going to pick SK anyways. The next one is SK versus Astralis. SK did show some weakness against Navi on D2. They actually got wrecked by Navi. So if Astralis can beat Navi, they can beat SK no problem. Astralis is probably going to be the champion. You can disagree with it if you want. You can completely choose anything. I'm just giving you my opinion and my reasoning for it. Hope you do good on Pick'em and hope you get a gold trophy.